Welcome to the In Shape Fitness Show. I'm Kim Watkins. I'll be your trainer. This workout is called A Salute to Strength, and it's composed of some of my all-time favorite moves. Listen carefully to my instruction, as you're going to get major mileage out of minor adjustments along the way. Your foot position, body weight shifts, and little isometric contractions amplify your effort and help boost your metabolism even more. Now let's warm up. March in place for 30 seconds. Go ahead and stand up for me. Get your shoulders back. Your chest is high and you're breathing deeply in through your nose, out through your mouth. Tuck in your tailbone and engage your abdominals. Really focus on keeping your rib cage completely upright and your pelvis tucked in a little bit in order to get your knees lifted that much higher, warming up your glutes, getting your legs going, and you've got about 5 more seconds. And we're going to take it up to a jog now and add a shoulder press. So jog it out, start swinging your arms a little bit, and then go ahead and add that shoulder press in for the next 30 seconds. Very good. Hang in there. We're just going to do a little bit of everything today. Each of the exercises is going to be 30 seconds in length with a little bit of a break in between as I instruct you on what the next move is and how to perform it correctly. So the first move is tried and true, your regular old standard jumping jacks. So let's do jumping jacks for 30 seconds. I'm going to start the clock here in a moment. I want you to just remember with the jumping jacks, I want them to be purposeful. So start out slowly, landing double shoulder width apart on the balls of your feet, making a huge circle with your arms up over your head, touching your hands at the top. All right, let's go. 30 seconds with jumping jacks. We're actually going to end up doing a full minute of jacks, and it's going to involve this standard jumping jack that we're doing right now, which again, keep moving with control. Move, landing lightly on the balls of your feet. Move somewhat slowly at the beginning here. Now we're 15 seconds in. Start picking up the pace a little bit. Breathe. Continue to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. And in just a few seconds, we're going to take it up to the next 30-second increment, which is a power jack. So double time your jacks. You don't have to touch your hands up at the top. Go ahead and start with those now. 30 seconds. These are called power jacks. So you're double timing your foot placement out to double shoulder width apart, and you are lifting your hands up to about, ear level or so. Again, remembering to keep a bend in the knee for shock absorption, landing lightly on the balls of your feet, and breathing. Keep your abs engaged, your back stays straight, your arms are moving, getting that really great dynamic movement through your entire body for another 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Very good job. Okay. The next move is a standard squat, which we're also going to do for 30 seconds. As before, I said everything each of our moves we're doing for 30 seconds. So I want you to plant your feet shoulder width apart and be very, very specific, very precise about your foot position, because if your toes turn out, your thigh, your quad is going to do more of the work than you want it to. You want to keep your heels in line with your toes. And as you inhale, lower your butt, sitting down and back into an imaginary chair, and shift your weight to your heels. Now, as your thighs get parallel or close to parallel to the floor, squeeze your butt cheeks, press your heels into the floor, and you exhale slowly, coming all the way back up. All right, let's start the clock for 30 seconds. And again, start real slowly. I'm going to tell you when to start speeding up, but the first couple of the squats are really about making sure you know exactly what you're doing. You're really in touch with the way that your muscles are contracting, your breath pattern, and your ability to move and change direction smoothly. Now pick up the pace. You've got 15 seconds left. Down and up, down and up. Very good. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Fabulous, fabulous. Okay, now you're going to continue with the same basic move, but bring your feet a little closer together, because you're going to squat all the way down and put your hands on the floor beside your feet. And then using the same adjustments where you shift your weight to your heels and squeeze your glute muscles, your butt muscles, you're going to stand all the way back up. It's just a frog squat, okay? So 30 seconds on the clock. Get going with the frog squat. Inhale all the way down, put your hands on the floor. Exhale. Try not to push off the floor with your hands. And the other thing you want to make sure that you're doing is getting your butt as low as possible instead of like bending over and putting a lot of strain on your back. You've got about 15 seconds left. The next move is going to be, I don't know if you kind of see the pattern I'm going in here, but the next move we're going to do a burpee or a squat thrust, which incorporates the frog squat and then has you walk your feet back. You've got about 5 seconds left of the frog squat. And good. Okay, now you should be standing back up completely again. This is the burpee. The burpee for 30 seconds. You're only going to do a few of these. I mean, you're really not doing that many of them, but you're going to squat all the way down just like you did before. Only walk one foot completely back to push-up position and then the other. Then you bring your feet back in. Then you stand all the way up. Okay, go ahead and go. 30 seconds. Again, squat all the way down. Hands on the floor. Walk one foot back. Walk the other foot back. Bring your feet in. Stand all the way up. That's 10 seconds already. Keep it going. Keep breathing. Just breathe through this. There's really no specific breathing pattern that you need to adopt, but just make sure that you're not passively breathing. Your muscles really do want you to take in as much oxygen as you can and get rid of the carbon dioxide. You've got 3 seconds, so finish the one that you're on and you're done. Good job. Okay, we're going to be down on the floor now. We are into a quadruped position, hands and knees. Hands are directly underneath your shoulders. Your knees are directly underneath your hips. We're going to do a bird dog. And this is a back stabilizer move. So make sure that you keep your back straight. You don't contract or arch your back, and you don't round your spine up. You want to keep it as flat as possible. You want to keep your shoulder blades flat, parallel with the floor, and your hips. So for 30 seconds, what you're going to do is you're going to extend your right arm straight out and your left leg straight back, pointing your toe and extending your fingers out as far as possible to expand the distance between those two end points, right? And then switch to the left arm and the right leg. All right, let's put the 30 seconds on the clock to go. If you've already been doing it, that's great if you know the position. It's a fairly standard stabilizer position. Really, really good for the back. And if you, again, start slowly, really accentuate that stretch out, because the diagonal dimensions of that extension of your spine help build strength in the paraspinal muscles that run down the length of your back, not just the lower back and the upper back muscles that are on the outside, but those internal muscles that really stabilize the spine. All right, now we are going to do some push-ups. Now that we've got ourselves sort of stabilized and take a little bit of an aerobic break, go ahead and get yourself into push-up position. Push-ups, probably, if you've ever trained with me in New York City, or you've listened to many of these workouts, it's one of my all-time favorite things to do, and I do push-ups every single day. So go ahead and get yourself into the position. Your hands are vertically in line with your shoulders, though your hands can be wider than your shoulders, and they should be, for the use of your chest muscles. And then inhale, lower your body by bending your elbows, and exhale, push back up. Let's put 30 seconds on the clock, and you're going. If you're on your knees, just make sure that your thigh makes a 45-degree angle with the floor. Awesome. Keep it going. Keep breathing. 30 seconds in push-ups is a pretty long time. You can do more than 10 push-ups. You can probably not do 20, but just take your time. You've got 5 seconds more. And 3, 2, 1, you're done. Very good. Right down into a plank. So lower your body onto your forearms and walk your toes back out if you've lowered your body to your knees or whatever. Let's start 30 seconds for a standard plank. Make sure that your elbows and your shoulders are in line. And make sure that your butt is flat. You don't want the butt up in a pike position or the beginnings of a pike position. Just keep it flat. Breathe through this. Planks are hard because you're forced into that contraction of all of those muscles around your rib cage, around your back and your stomach. There's nothing you can do about it, right? They're just contracting and it's hard. But you hang in there. It will end in about 5 seconds, in fact. So you get through this. We'll take a little bit of a break. Down to our tummies in just a second. For Supermans, go ahead and do that. Now lower your body down all the way to the ground. Extend your arms forward. And when I say inhale, what you're going to do is take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, lift both of your arms and your legs, keeping your legs straight, up at the same time so that you're resting on your pelvis, squeezing the lower back muscle. Okay, let's do that. Inhale, and as you exhale, lift up and relax. Take a deep breath in, exhale, lift up and relax. Try to get a little more of a contraction with each repetition. Exhale, lift up and relax. Very good. One more. Exhale, lift up, hold for 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. We are a little more than halfway through. We're going to pick up the pace again here with one of my other all-time favorite moves, some mountain climbers. So get yourself back up into push-up position. Your hands, again, are up there underneath your shoulders. Your feet are resting in push-up position, and you're going to start mountain climbers in 3 seconds. 2, 1, and go. You're jumping your feet forward and back, alternating that foot stance, climbing up the mountain, keeping your butt down. If you are anaerobic or you're really struggling here, take it down to a walk. Take it down to 1 foot forward, then both feet back, 1 foot forward, both feet back. You know, kind of that sort of walking motion as opposed to the jumping forward and back, alternating your feet, which is the mountain climber that we all know and love in the fitness industry. So I hope you're at least giving it a try. You've got a few more seconds. Hang in there. Keep your butt down. We're going to stay in this position for one more move, and that is now called a Spider-Man. So you're still in push-up position. I want you to bring your knee laterally around, the right knee laterally around on the outside, up towards the right elbow. Squeeze the side abs. Extend your foot back. I'm just going ahead and keeping it going as far as the clock goes. So 30 seconds is going now. Left knee comes up around the body to the left elbow and then back. And then the right elbow and then back. Couple more of these. 30 seconds goes pretty fast with this move. This is a Spider-Man. It's again, the support of your body weight on your hands and toes means that you are really working a little bit of everything, right? You're in a plank position. You're working your shoulders and your biceps and your triceps. You're working your back muscles. You're using your glutes and squeezing your side abs. And it's really just a wonderful thing. Okay, now you're done. Turn on over. We've got 7 moves on your back, or at least partially on your back. So go ahead and sit down on your butt. Position your hands down there by your rear end. Fingers facing forward. Make sure that your feet are shoulder width apart and that you distribute your weight between the heel and the ball of the foot evenly. Okay, there's going to be a time I'm going to tell you to press into the floor with the balls of your feet, with your toes, and that's going to help enforce some of the contraction on the back of the body. But for the time being, I want you to just get yourself up into a tabletop position now. We are going to do something I call tabletop tricep dips. So it's just a tricep dip on the floor. But I like to accentuate the fact that it's in the tabletop position because as you press into the floor with your feet, if you allow your toes to float up and you just press into the heel, your back and the back of the body is absorbing all of your body weight. When you press into the floor, the front of your body is absorbing all of your body weight. When you press into the floor with your toes, your glutes will contract and your hamstrings will be used, and you're going to get a total body move with the tricep being the only moving muscle. But you do get everything else is working in tandem. Okay, so now that we're in that position, we're going to start the 30 seconds. Bend your elbows and your hips sink down to the floor. And now press back up to tabletop. Remember, the tabletop part is your thigh and your torso. Bend your elbows as you inhale, and then exhale, push back up. Let's do that for 15 more seconds. Bend your arms, bend your elbows, and push back up. And again, bend those elbows, push back up. And let's do one more. Bend of the elbows and push back up. Now stay in this position. I know it's hard. The tricep is such a small muscle. And again, so here's another thing you want to make sure that you're doing where your hand position is placed. Your fingers shouldn't be splayed completely, but open up your hands a little bit, and then make sure that you're distributing your weight on both the thumb and the pinky side of your fingers, and not just the heel of your hand, gripping the floor with your fingers, right? Because now what we're going to do is a crab kick. I want you to lift the right knee up and kick the foot up, and then put it gently back down on the floor in the same position, and then lift the